you say that I said something. Let me tell you, if there's tape of me saying that, it's AI. I did not say that. No, I said. See, you must have. You know what? The Thunderbird must not have worn off yet. You must have still been drunk, and Thunderbird wine. And what I said was this. But you're not going to play the tape back? Cue it up. Cue it. Why not? You've got a tape that's going to embarrass me. You got a tape. Yeah, I like how he thinks he got me on something that I said on the radio. I don't remember the exact words I said, but I was paraphrasing myself there. It was very similar to that because I remember it. But I just think he was drunk. Now, the Thunderbird wine reference, when we were on the last cruise, Steve, an English gentleman came up to PJ and asked him if he could recommend a fine American wine, and PJ said Thunderbird. Nothing but the best. It tastes. I like it in those brown paper bags. All right, let's go. You're on the. You're Thunder. I know that cracked. I almost broke a rib when he did.
I know what some of you PJ skeptics out there are thinking. There's no way that my Thunderbird wine story, in which I recommended to a very, very proper Englishman aboard a cruise ship, that I recommended to him as a fine American wine, Thunderbird. So, guess what? I've got video proof of it. In fact, this video, it's subsequent to me recommending the Thunderbird wine. It shows me teaching the what's the word Thunderbird jingle to the Englishman and his friends aboard the ship. But one little problem. Well, not a little, pretty big problem. I searched my cell phone. I couldn't find a video. What to do? I couldn't find it. I mean, if I don't find it, people will think I'm like another Brian Williams with that wild Thunderbird story where I recommended Thunderbird wine to an Englishman. So what to do? Oh, what was me? Can somebody help me? Out there? Please.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right? It's no longer in a physical place.
That's it. I'll just search the Kamala cloud. The Kamala cloud has my file, the video file of me teaching them the Thunderbird jingle. Oh, where is it? Oh, here. I found it. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Kamala. So here, I have the video. Take a look. Well, here we are in Cozumel. Oh, a little hard to see here. I'm trying to see where the famed beach is. Oh, what's the word? Come on.
Terry, what's the word?
What's the word? Thunderbird. What's the price? You got it. You got it halfway. And in case you don't know, Thunderbird is known as, well, there's no PC way of saying it, but just flat out I'll tell you, Thunderbird is known as a bum wine. So, but the weird thing about Thunderbird is they produced perhaps the most bizarre TV commercial I've ever seen. Now, you think somebody doing a Thunderbird commercial, the proper person would be some like wino, homeless wino on the street? No. Take a look.
I like the unusual flavor of Thunderbird wine. It's an exceptionally good drink for every occasion. Thunderbird has an unusual flavor all its own. Not quite like anything I've ever tasted. I suggest that you try Thunderbird. It's really delightful.
Yes, the very, very, very proper Brit, James Mason, for Thunderbird wine. Now, you're probably wondering, and by the way, do you notice? Not one time did James Mason actually taste that wine. And I guarantee you, Thunderbird wine never touched his lips, ever. But, so why would he do a Thunderbird wine commercial, you know? Here's the backstory to this. It's actually fascinating. What happened is that he was desperate for money. And why was that? Because he had now, have you ever heard of Marvin Mitchelson? Yeah, the famous divorce lawyer. Well, guess what Marvin Mitchelson got his name from, when he became famous? It was when James Mason and his wife hired, Pamela Mason hired Marvin Mitchelson as her divorce lawyer, and it became famous because it became known as the first $1 million American divorce. The first $1 million divorce in America. And by the way, just a little thing here. I used to see Pamela Mason years ago on daytime talk shows. Oh my God, $1 million? Guess what? $2 million would be a bargain to divorce her. But nevertheless, that was the backstory. He was so desperate, and how desperate you got to be. I mean, he was completely broke. You know, back then, $1 million meant a lot more. This is like around '64 or so, and the actors actually weren't paid nearly as much as they were. I think, like, remember the movie The Graduate? I believe that Dustin Hoffman only got $10,000 for that. Really. So anyway, that was what happened. James Mason was so how desperate. I mean, that's called sheer desperation. He was so desperate for money that he actually did a Thunderbird commercial. And so now, just for your entertainment, that commercial is so bizarre that it inspired a parody of it. So I'll sign off. I'll show you the parody Thunderbird commercial right now.
I'm not sure if it's actually wine or varnish. Thunderbird doesn't really sound like something you'd want to drink. Sounds like a bird with gastrointestinal issues.
Varnish?
I don't know what it is. I drink it, though. It makes me hammered, and often I wake up in the company of young men. Thunderbird has an unusual flavor, all its own. I wouldn't call it especially good, or tasty, or even something I look forward to. If I could rig an IV, I would take it that way, so it completely bypassed my mouth. It's like anything I've ever tasted. I suggest that you try Thunderbird. It's really delightful. Delightful in a very regretful way. Last time I drank a whole bottle, and I woke up with my rectum distended.